Hello and welcome back to another Shadowlands gold farming video. So today we are taking a look at this farm once again, and I want to make an update because first of all, it is insane how this has not been nerfed yet, and second of all, I see a lot of groups doing this wrong. So I want to just cover quickly how you should do this farm, and also just show you how insane it is, because it is insane. And if you haven't seen it yet, I have made 2 videos on this location already, so that should already tell you this location is insane when you need 3 videos on it, but also it kind of shows how complicated it is, because you want to have a very good group, and the group setup kinda makes everything. If you have a terrible group, the farm will be terrible, and if you have a good group, the farm will be great. Now for a good group, you want it to look like this. For me, you want to have 2x4, so I'm only showing you half the group here, but basically you want to have 1 monk, you want to have 3 to 4 druids, and you want the rest of the group to be as much high AoE DPS as possible. So the other group is 3 druids and 1 mage. Actually no, I think it's 3 druids and a death knight right now. But that's not the point. They are 3 druids and they are 1 strong AoE DPS. Then for me we have the monk for the statue, we have 1 more druid, and we have 2 insane AoE DPS. The warlock could be a tiny bit higher. You want to have DPSers, AoE DPS, with above 3.5k DPS so they can melt the enemies as fast as possible. The faster you kill them, the faster they will respawn. And if you, like in my previous group, I had a couple of people pulling under 2k DPS AoE, and it really slowed down the farm by a lot. It made it much more difficult because the statue dies a lot faster. I have to do a lot more healing, and basically things die slower, you get less kills, and it becomes way more stressful. The second you have a group full of people doing above 3.5k DPS, it becomes a lot smoother, and they die a lot quicker. It becomes a lot better as well, so it's smoother, better, easier, everything is just better. So for the group you want to have, as I just said, 1 monk tank, 3 to 4 druids. We have 4 druids right now, seems like a very good setup. And you want to have as many strong AoE DPS classes as possible. Now for me I have found this to be Ret Paladin, Frost DK, and Mage. Sometimes Warlocks as well, but they seem to have a much higher skill cap. But I have seen Warlocks doing above 4k DPS, which is really good. But anyone able to pull above 3k DPS is good for this farm. If they are lower than 3k, then you should not get them, just get rid of them. So, pretty much every class should be able to do 3k DPS AoE at this farm, if they have the right spec and the right covenant. But once again, it depends on exactly what I just said, the right spec and the right covenant. If you're a mage, you want to have the freezing rain, like I can show you when I inspect this person. You want to have the freezing rain passive, it increases your DPS by a ton, and that's pretty much the only class I have any knowledge about, except for my own monk. But you want to have 1 monk, 4 druids, and 3 very strong AoE DPS. Ret Paladins are really good apparently, they are able to do 4 to 5k DPS constantly at this location, which has been really good so far, considering everyone else that I've seen. Frost DKs also really good, and mages are also really good. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to know about the farm. Blizzard should really nerf this. I'm going to show you exactly how much I'm making from this spot. And we have been farming for 1 hour, pretty much exactly 1 hour right now. And I have 3.7k cloth from the location. And 1 person just left. That's the warlock we just got. I'm just going to find a new one, that's fine. So like I just said, a lot of people are saying this farm isn't as good as other places. I would disagree. If you have the right setup, this farm is really, really good. But once again, I want to say, it's all about the setup. I'm gonna get a DK instead, so the 2 things I don't like having at this location are hunters and rogues. Now I'm not saying you shouldn't get them. Hunters are fantastic if they know how to pull and how to do DPS at the same time. But for me, I've never seen them do above 3k, and same for rogues. I have seen some rogues do 3k, but the actual success rate of rogues that I invite is very low. Like, some of them will be great, but most of them will be trash. It all depends on the person, how much knowledge they have, and especially this, what covenant they are in. The covenants actually play a huge role. Like for the monk tank as well, you want to be a Night Fae for the Fae line stomp, because that thing stands for like 20% of my DPS, which is a lot really. 20% is a lot. And for druids as well, their covenants will stand for some of their DPS, but for druids, the main thing is your pulling abilities. So as long as you have Sunfire, you should be good. but every, I think it's 1 minute, you can do like a lot of DPS as well as a druid. If you just channel your ability, you will do tons of stuff, including healing and damage as well. So your Covenant ability will matter. You want to be able to do as much AoE DPS as possible. And if you're making a group, make sure you pick people with high DPS. If people do low DPS, just tell them they can't be there. Just give them like a friendly message, like, hey, your DPS is too low, I can't really bring you, and I'm gonna kick you and find someone else. And then you find someone else. Unless you want to farm in a lower group, like if you want to have low efficiency, that's fine. If you want to farm with friends, that's also fine. The thing is though, don't say the farm is bad if you're doing it with a bad setup. Then it will be bad if you're doing it with a bad setup. That's pretty much how it is. But if you want to have a good setup, like I just said, once again, you want to be a monk tank, you want to have 3 to 4 druids, and you want to have 3 very strong AoE DPSs. Frost DKs are perfect, mages are perfect, red paladins are perfect, and having a group full of boomkins also can work. But from my experience, you don't need that many boomkins, and mages will do more AoE DPS, and same with DKs. I have never had any issues filling up my groups for this, so you should be fine. And yeah, I didn't really show you exactly everything that I got from this location. Let's see, one person died right now, so if someone can rest him quickly, that would be fantastic. You get tons of lockboxes. I have 12 lockboxes in 1 hour, which is pretty much the average. I have tons of cloth, like 3.9k now, so you get tons of cloth all the time. As a monk, or as a person with skinning, you can skin here as well, but I wouldn't recommend any of the DPSers actually skin, because once again, it's all about efficiency. And skinning will take away from your efficiency, but if you have the skinning glove enchant, then skinning a mob will take you literally half a second, so it doesn't even matter. So you can bring skinning, but not everyone can skin, only one person can skin. So keep that in mind, but for me that is a massive boost to the gold per hour. I'm making 7 heavy callus hides per hour from this location, which will give me about 10k gold per hour. Only from that one. You also have these as well, so I think having skinning as the only skinner, I make an extra 20k gold per hour from the location, which really adds up in value over time as well. So you can skin some of the mobs. They are the ones spawning behind me, like these two. These two are skinnable, and they will also spawn. The mobs are on a hyper spawn, so as long as you kill them, they will keep on spawning. And you want to be pulling on the green spot right behind me, and the star, and purple. And you want to pull 24/7. Now pulling should always be the druid's jobs, and that's why you want to have 3 to 4 druids, because you can see there are 3 locations, and you can't really think that everyone will pull all the time. So I just bring 4, but if everyone pulls, you only need 3. But there is a patrol down here as well, so if you have 1 druid standing like I am right now, he can then pull there, and the patrol down there. There will be a patrol roughly every 30 seconds, so you can pull that patrol and bring him up here as well. And that is pretty much it for the farm. So if you want to make some very easy gold right now, this is basically the place to do it. I haven't shown the location yet, but over here it is. All the way down here in Maldraxxus. I should have shown that earlier, but like I said, this is my 3rd video on the location. But there you go, that is the farm, and that's how you do it. It's very straightforward. You go here with a group of 8 people, so 2x4, and you just farm gold. Now if you want to make a lot of gold in Shadowlands, you can check out Students from 0 to Gold Cap Guide, which you can buy with my code for 50% off. So you will save 50% if you buy it with my code, and you can click the link in the description and the pinned comment as well if you want to buy it. It is a great guide to make gold in Shadowlands and in World of Warcraft in general, and he's constantly updating the guide, so you will get the updates for free, and he shows you tons of locations where you can farm gold. And that is pretty much it for the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you again very soon.